Hello, this is Dr. Oz. In this video, I would like to talk about moving average method. In previous videos, we worked on naive approach, which gave us 9% error on average. And then we worked on all average method, which considers all the historical data and takes the average, which gave us 20% error, which is worse than naive. What I would like to do here is I would just control drag this worksheet so that I can create a copy of this and label this one as moving average. I will call this 3. So I will use last 3 quarters as a moving average to forecast the next quarter. Okay, so let's do that. Again, I don't need to do anything to column A and B. My data is in column C, which is revenue, and E, F, G, H, I, J. They're going to calculate my percentage, so I don't need to do anything. All I have to do is change my forecasting formula for these areas right here. So I will start from here, Control Shift up arrow, and I will just delete these numbers. Now what I would like to do is use the last 3 quarters average. Again, these are quarterly data. You could use, if your data is daily, last 3 days or last 3 weeks or last 3 months, depending on your data set of the data as average. So I cannot make a forecast for the first 3 quarters because I need that much data to be able to calculate my forecast, since this is moving average 3. I will start from the 4th quarter and then take the average of last 3 quarters to make my forecast. Okay, so my forecast is the average of last 3 quarters, as you see here. Now, right down corner, when you see this black cross, you can double click, and these are my forecasts. And obviously, I should not go all the way down here because let me just Control Z, because I would like to do these calculations only for the historical data. All right, so onto the green cell, I just drag it down. So now you can see that this forecast gave us 10% on average error versus naive was giving us 9, so slightly worse than naive, much better than all average. So it ended up being not horrible. And if you look at it, number of times that I had error of more than 2 standard deviation is right here, three quarters in a row in 2015 and 2016. And I was here underestimating the reality. Whatever happened in the company looks like all of a sudden their revenue climbed up. And probably the reason is that I don't know much about Kraft and Heinz, but probably they made some acquisitions. They bought other companies. And when you do that, your revenue all of a sudden increase significantly because you have another company under you. And it looks like probably I think they make a big acquisition here from $2.6 billion revenue to 6.1. That's why all of a sudden my model in that transition stage did not work, because this is, again, when you get this kind of red signals, whenever you have something changed, dramatic change in the system, like new competitor, new acquisitions, some economical issues, and so on. And of course, you may have a few of those out of 100 observations, because that's part of the process, that 2 standard deviation from the mean will give you 5% of the time it will go beyond 2 standard deviation. That's normal. I had another one here. So 4, you can see 2 of these here that are also 6. So I don't think it's bad. 6 out of 115 quarters. I think it's around 5%, which is expected. So I think this forecast did pretty well. In comparison to naive, it's slightly worse. So what I would like to show you here is that I don't have to do 3. I could do Control Shift, right arrow, not right arrow, drag it right. I want to try 4, and you should try actually different. And by the way, if you guys learn machine learning like Python or R, there's some easy codes that you can call for other people's codes and try different moving averages. So and you can do that, but I'm just teaching right now in Excel. So what I want to do is I will try the same thing, but not 3 quarters, but 4 quarters. So I will just delete this and start from my quarter 4, quarter 5, and take the first 4 quarters average. and then right down corner, double click. So now if I use 4 quarters moving average, looks like it got worse. It was 10% error. Now it's 11% error. Let me just try a few more things. I'm just curious about it. What if I use moving average 2, last 2 quarters of the data. So I will go to quarter number 3, take the average of the first 2 quarters, quarter 1 and quarter 2, and enter, and then I will drag this one down all the way down till here. So now what happens? Looks like it's 9%. Actually, if I show the decimals a little bit more, 8.8% versus here you had 10.9, and here you had 10.3. For all average, it's always was pretty bad. 20, and naive forecast was 8.8. Oh wow, they are pretty much same. Let me just go one more actual decimal, 8.80. And for moving average 2, you have 8.77. So looks like moving average 2 works better than naive. So, but slightly, it's not so much. So you could try this kind of different moving averages to see which one works the best. Let me just conclude this by saying that again, depending on different type of industry and product that changes, you may end up having different results for each forecasting techniques. And so far what we learned is naive is pretty good, and moving average 3 is good, but moving average 2 is also pretty good. So I could use probably moving average 2 or naive. So far they're the best ones for my data. That's it for this video. Next video, I will be talking about exponential smoothing. Until next video, enjoy supply chain management.